Hello and welcome to WoW News. I'm recording this on the 26th of March. And before we get into news, I'm just going to quickly say this is going to be the last WoW News that is released on a fortnightly basis. Also, the last one is going to be released on a Tuesday. Going forward, we're going to be doing these monthly, and it's going to fit in with our usual Sunday video schedule. So it's going to be once a month, typically towards the end of the month. And we'll cover all the news that we've had since the previous recording. So I'm recording this on the 26th of March, so any news that we get after today will be in next month's. So the largest marine sanctuary in the South Atlantic has been created with the help of WDC this month. 20 years in the making, this zone is found off the coast of Brazil, and this protects various whales and dolphins, including the South Atlantic right whales and quite a few endangered dolphin species. The biggest impact of this will be that it will be banning fishing for the most part in this zone. So this sanctuary of over 1 million hectares came about through WDC-driven public pressure. A blue whale has been sighted off the coast of New England in the USA. This is a very unusual sighting that could indicate that changes to ocean conditions may have created a temporary hotspot for krill, the blue whale's favorite food. This sighting was followed the day after with a second sighting of two whales. Blue whale migration is dictated by krill presence, which in turn is affected by temperature, water currents, and nutrients present in the water. Typically, these sightings are a sign of a good, strong, healthy ecosystem. This month, researchers from the University of St. Andrews have, for the first time ever, released recorded footage of sperm whales headbutting one another. This was a study that took quite a bit of time in the making, so we're only hearing about it just now. But there is footage showing sperm whales headbutting one another. And this is the first time this has ever been caught on camera. Now, this was taken using an overhead drone, and this showed something different than what the researchers expected. Because previously, this was an action that was thought to only happen with large males. But this footage was taken in the Azores and features sub-adult males. It actually features three of them. I'll leave a link to the article and indeed the video in the description. This behavior has been seen before, though. It's just never been documented on video. Back in the 18th and 19th centuries, sailors witnessed this behavior, and this ended up being the inspiration for a very well-known book that you might have heard of called Moby Dick. Now, while an obvious initial theory for this would be male-on-male competition, scientists need a lot more observations of this behavior to even begin to explain the reasoning behind it. Sometimes the reason for something isn't the most obvious answer. You need to collect the data, you need to collect more data, and then analyze that data. Right now, the scientists just don't know. So our final piece today, and I know it's been a short video. This isn't even really news, this piece. I wanted to talk about a paper that released at the beginning of March by Ford et al. And the paper title reads, Perspective, the future of the southern resident killer whales depends on interactions with other killer whale populations. So this isn't a study, this is more like a literature review. Nothing in this paper is new. There's no new they're very open about this doesn't bring in anything new, but they're more correlating what a lot of other studies have concluded. And they're bringing it together as kind of like a report. But this paper I really like because it serves as a reminder that sometimes when it comes to conservation, we need to sometimes take a step back, reflect, and assess, Are we doing the right things? Are we doing the right things to the right intensity? Are we taking everything into account? Are we taking all the impacts into account? If we make this change, is it going to have the effect that we expect? And this paper is pretty good at kind of grounding you in taking a step back and thinking what we do doesn't always have the intended effects. Now, I'm going to be discussing this in a lot more detail with my co-host Geofits. Now, that's going to be a video that we're going to be recording after recording the podcast next week, and we're going to be releasing that video potentially as part of the podcast, depends on how long that podcast runs, or potentially as its own standalone video later on in the month. And we're going to be talking more about the broader topic of sometimes we have to step back and assess everything with conservation. Make sure that the effects that we think our actions are having are actually the effects that are taking place. And that was the news. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to have a lot more like orca related news in Orca Watch. Orca Watch is going to be very, very long. The next time you see Orca Watch, it's probably releasing in like the weekend after this goes live. We're going to be talking about the T14, T419s, and we're also going to be talking about T99 who live stranded during the month. If you are interested with the last story that we covered about the paper by Ford et al., and you wish to ask me and Geo questions relating to this paper, if you've read it, or relating to thinking more about the broader picture, then post in the comments. If you're quick enough and you post them in like the next 2 days after this video goes live, we definitely can answer them. But any longer than that, we will probably already record it. So get in there quick. So thank you once again for watching, and have a whale of a day.